First things first, I appreciate all you guys that have sent your nominations for the upcoming Huge Embarrassing Failure Awards. We got a great list so far, some interesting nominees that I hadn't really thought about. Keep them coming. If you want to nominate someone for the upcoming HEF Awards, email them to btlkc84@gmail.com. You can also shoot me a DM on Twitter. Again, please don't post them on the comment section here on YouTube. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. If I were to ask you what is the #1 complaint in women's sports over the last couple of years, what would your answer be? And when I say women's sports, I'm talking specifically about women's college basketball and the WNBA dump. Well, KC, that's easy. The lack of running water in the dump. Yeah, that's a valid complaint, but dump divers, they have gotten used to bathing in the community wading pool. Inadequate facilities, they complain about changing in closets when men have actual locker rooms. Yeah, that's true. That's been a big complaint, although the facilities in women's college basketball look like the Ritz-Carlton compared to the Red Roof Inn that WNBA players inhabit on the road. One of, if not the biggest complaint in women's college basketball in the WNBA, it's the lack of attention from the general public and the lack of coverage they receive from the mainstream media. Oftentimes, we are told that women's basketball doesn't draw an audience because of mythical misogyny and toxic masculinity. We have been told that men refuse to watch women's sports because they just don't want to see women succeed. But you never hear the truth. You never hear the real reason that most men don't watch women's sports and the reason that most women don't watch women's sports. When compared to the NBA, the WNBA is painfully boring. Less athleticism, subpar offense, airball dunks, free throw attempts that fail to make it past the free throw line. For women's basketball to draw on television, there's got to be a level of off-the-court drama added to get people interested. And in order for that to happen, you got to have the assistance of the mainstream media. Just look at what happened during the women's tournament last spring. Well, KC, don't you mean March Madness? No, I mean the women's tournament. The media, they hyped up the drama between Angel Reese and Katie Rue Clark. Nearly 10 million people tuned in to watch them settle their perceived differences on the court. They basically borrowed a strategy from professional wrestling: create conflict, settle it in the ring, or in this case, on the court. I can't stress this point enough. In order for women's basketball to succeed, there has got to be a created interest by the media to draw people in. Kind of hard to do that when you're treating the media like shit. You guys already know I am not a defender of the mainstream media. For the most part, I think the media in this country is absolute garbage, biased on both sides, agenda-driven, unreliable, and untrustworthy. But I'm struggling to understand why someone like Kim Mulkey, the head coach of women's basketball at LSU, I'm struggling to understand why someone like her, who needs the mainstream media, I don't understand why she keeps treating them like garbage. Women's basketball has been begging. They have been begging for media coverage. And now that you're finally getting it, you want them to go away? For those that don't know, Angel Reese, she is supposed to return tonight after a 4-game suspension. Woohoo! We still don't know why she was suspended because Kim Mulkey refuses to tell us. Now, I am sticking with my original theory that Angel Reese was suspended because her attitude sucked. She thought that she was a bigger star. She thought she was bigger than the team. Now, you can get away with that mentality in the WNBA, where 99% of the American population can't name one team in the dump, but that mentality does not work at the professional level, which for the women, the professional level is college basketball. Yesterday, Kim Mulkey gave another press conference where she continued to embarrass not only herself, she embarrassed the program at LSU. She was asked a very simple question. This wasn't a gotcha question. This question wasn't designed to get a viral soundbite. The media asked for Kim Mulkey's thoughts about going for win number 700 against Virginia Tech later tonight. Basic, standard question. Instead of providing a basic, standard answer, Kim Mulkey goes on a diatribe about what bothers her with the mainstream media, which is fine. I get it. There's a lot about the mainstream media that bothers me too. I just don't think that this was the setting, especially with everything that's happened over the past 2 weeks. I don't think this was the setting for Kim Mulkey to air out her grievances. Watch for yourself.
What becomes aggravating is what, Glenn?
Oh, several things.
Well, tell us, what becomes aggravating?
I wasn't listening to him writing the story. Sorry.
So why are you here?
So
If you're not going to listen to me, why are you here? All I ask as a coach is if I don't give you the answer you want, don't attack me for that. Don't attack and make it personal. Is that fair? Some of you take it to a personal level, and I just don't I don't understand that. I would never attack any of you for writing a bad article about me if you didn't think I made the right call. Let's just say, man, she was a bad coach tonight. She got out coached. They should have won. That's fair game. But to attack somebody on a personal level, am I wrong about that? Yes or no?
how did you get attacked? Yeah.
Well, they know who they are. Y'all know who they are.
First of all, let me explain what just happened. Kim Mulkey put Glenn Guilbeau on the spot because he had the audacity to write a story about Angel Reese while the great Kim Mulkey was talking. The reason he was writing during this press conference is because Kim Mulkey had just revealed that Angel Reese would be playing. It was breaking news. This is a common practice throughout the media. Not to mention the fact that this press conference went far too long because Kim Mulkey would not stop complaining about media coverage. The same media coverage they had been begging for years now. Kim Mulkey asked Glenn Guilbeau, "Why are you even here?" That's actually an excellent question. Why is anyone there? If Kim Mulkey is treating you like shit, why does anyone continue to cover this team? Let's make one thing perfectly clear here. On a national level, no one gives a fuck about Kim Mulkey. No one cares about LSU basketball. Seriously, how many of you knew that Kim Mulkey had won 4 national titles? How many of you guys knew that she was coaching for her 700th win tonight? I'd be willing to bet vast majority of this audience didn't even know that Kim Mulkey was coaching at LSU until this past spring. I damn sure didn't know, and I talk about sports in the media 7 days a week. The only reason that LSU is receiving national attention is because of Angel Reese. The second Angel Reese is forced to leave LSU to become the lead trash engineer on one of the WNBA dumps, no one will give a fuck about women's basketball at LSU. This is why I don't understand this combativeness from Kim Mulkey. This is your opportunity to make people care about your program instead of people only caring about one player. And what is Kim Mulkey doing? She is guaranteeing that once Angel Reese leaves, the national media is leaving right with her. Most people don't remember much. There are times when my girlfriend won't remember something that happened a couple of hours ago. But you know what she always remembers? You know what she never forgets? She never forgets how I make her feel. She can vividly remember something from 2 years ago where I made her feel happy and special. She can also remember something from 2 years ago when I pissed her off. I say all the time, the basic dynamics of a relationship are the same whether the relationship is business or personal. Believe it or not, the media actually consists of people. This is not Woke Illustrated, which consists of artificial journalists and writers that have mother boards instead of actual mothers. They are not going to forget how Kim Mulkey has treated them. Once you remove Angel Reese from this equation and you couple that with Kim Mulkey treating them like garbage, what reason does the media have to continue covering this team? LSU is paying Kim Mulkey $3.6 million a year. Yes, she's paid to coach basketball. But another reason she's one of the highest paid coaches in women's basketball, she's being paid to deal with the media. She's being paid to bring awareness to the program. Years ago, Dennis Rodman said that NBA players are paid millions of dollars just to deal with the press. The basketball part, that's simple. They'll play basketball for free. But part of the reason they are compensated so well is because they have to constantly deal with the media. It's the same thing here with Kim Mulkey. One of the main parts of your job is conducting yourself professionally with the media. Instead, Kim Mulkey, she thinks she's the boss. She thinks that she's in control of the media. Last week, Kim Mulkey told the media, just write what I tell you to write. Yeah, that's not how it works. If you want state-run media, coach basketball in China. During the press conference, Kim Mulkey claimed that she was being combative with the press because she was being attacked personally. When they asked for clarification, Kim Mulkey, she refused to answer. You know, this is one thing that I cannot stand. I refer to this as throwing the rock and then hiding your hand. If you're going to speak on something, speak on it. If you're going to complain about personal attacks in the media, explain what you're talking about. Because you're not doing yourself any favors by giving vague answers. Hell, Kim Mulkey giving vague answers, that is the reason for all this controversy at LSU to begin with. If you're not willing to speak on something, don't bring it up at all. I think the personal attack that Kim Mulkey is referring to is a recent article from Anscape. Now, Anscape is basically the BET version of ESPN.com. The site is owned by ESPN with the sole purpose of promoting mythical racism. They wrote a hit piece on Kim Mulkey where they falsely claimed that she treated players poorly. They called her out for not wearing the COVID mask. Ooh. And they criticized her for not supporting Bob Greiner when Bob was on that extended Russian vacation with Vlad Putin. Basically, Anscape, ESPN, they criticized Kim Mulkey for being an old white conservative, which is all the more reason for Kim Mulkey to speak on it. Anscape is garbage. It's a polished turd. I don't think anyone would be upset with Kim Mulkey for calling them out. Towards the end of this never-ending press conference, Kim Mulkey got flustered again when she was asked about Angel Reese practicing. The media asked her how much Angel Reese had been practicing, and once again, Kim Mulkey refused to answer. Oh, darling, why would I tell you that? That's classified information. Would you ask John Biden for the nuclear codes? No, Kim, I wouldn't. Mainly because Johnny B. Biden wouldn't know the nuclear codes. I don't know if he'd know the definition of nuclear. Asking about Angel Reese, that is not classified information. That is a basic question. Over the past 3 or so weeks, Willie Green, he has been asked on a daily basis how much CJ McCollum has been practicing. Why did the media ask him every day? Because guys like me, we wanted to know. You see, that's how it works. That's how you get people invested in your team. The media is the conduit. They ask the questions that fans want to know and they can't ask themselves. Your job as the head coach is to give the answers. Glenn Guilbeau, he has been covering LSU for decades. He recently started working at Outkick, and there was one sentence in a lengthy article that he wrote that perfectly describes why Kim Mulkey's having a hard time dealing with the media. Through 23 years of coaching, Kim Mulkey has not received much criticism from the media. There you go. That is why Kim Mulkey is struggling at LSU. In the past, she wasn't receiving criticism because she was above being criticized. She wasn't receiving criticism because she was some perfect head coach. Kim Mulkey wasn't criticized in the past because no one was paying attention. No one cared about women's basketball. She's never had to deal with the media because there was no media to deal with. Now that women's college basketball is finally receiving the media coverage they've been begging for, Kim Mulkey basically wants the media to go away. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Maybe you understand it. For 2 weeks now, Kim Mulkey has been combative with the press after years of women begging for media attention. Give me your thoughts on Kim Mulkey and her treatment of the media. Also, can women's college basketball, can it be successful based on the basketball alone? Or do they need media-created drama to capture the interest of the mainstream? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.